People, welcome to another edition of the Finger Tapping Frenzy that we all know and love as WWE SuperCard. With me, Big Jim, here at BadLadDad HQ. And it's a double WrestleMania 33 card reveal special, call it what you will. There's Team Battleground rewards to be collected. There's King of the Ring rewards to be collected. And I've got to stop punching my hand like this because it gets quite sore after episodes. So, first thing, I have to say a huge shout out to Original Villains, the Original Villain team, who pushed us really close. This is the toughest match we've had so far in Team Battleground. And what didn't help was me not putting the right teeth in this morning. If only I had some false ones found, I could afford some proper teeth. As I was trying to say, what didn't help was Cat Daddy with the gradings of your opponents. Something seems to have gone wrong. It was fine in the first 4 matches where we were 4-0. Coming into this match though, we like to have a little tactic employed, and it obviously depends on matching up your players against their players. Their rankings were all over the place. So they had some people way down the bottom of the rankings who had 3 or 4 WrestleMania cards. It was a bit tough. So it took a bit of reorganising on our behalf, and with about 7 hours to go, we were a couple of grand down. It wasn't looking good, and by my calculations, we were just about nip in front based on what we knew we could do, and then it was a case of we don't know what else they'd got up their sleeve. Thankfully, they didn't have anything else up their sleeve. They'd done all they could, so we managed to get past them. But well done to you guys for making it a pleasurable encounter, and some good banter in the chat mode as well. I won't read everyone's name out, but you can see. There we go. I will read. There's Travis back is obviously one of ours. Johnny Sparks, Denzel, Matt's one of ours. Zim's one of ours. Lucky Salt, me. Back again, Adam's one of ours, so a good bit of chat going on. And so now, while I'm here, be rude not to view mailbox and collect my rewards. Now, I'm sure you will know by now that I am desperate for a female. I've got a few singles knocking around now, so I could do with claiming something that will give me a pro. And I always get this bit wrong. Because I'm like, I'm waiting, come on, what is it? You've got to tap the screen first. Tap the screen. She's good, but she's not a pro, but she's good. So I'm just going to take a screen grab of that, and I can ping it onto the boys so they can see what I've got. Well, it's another, well, who knows, my King of the Ring rewards. Who knows what could come up there. Let's just have a look, see what else there is. Nia Jax, already got her as a pro, and Dolph Ziggler. It's just the long-haired brigade. It's quite suitable for Big Jim. It's everyone with long hair. Right, well that's that done. Now let's go into King of the Ring. King of the Ring, I have to say, I have to apologise to Mendoza. If you just scroll down in the chat mode here, you can see there's myself, there's Kitty Panzer. Mendoza saying, oh, Big Jim again, this is unreal. And I'm sorry, Mendoza, but of course what happened? We both got on Julian. Hello, Julian. We got on VJ, Rocky. We got through to the semi-finals together, and I beat him in the semi-final. But sorry about that, mate. I know how desperate it is when you're trying to get to the final just to get the WrestleMania card. Well, I guess we can't all be winners. So, as you've probably guessed, got through to the final. I think I powered up for the first one, for the first game, which I won. And I didn't bother powering up again because, to be quite honest, it was about 3 in the morning, and I thought I'm not waiting up to power up just for another Ultimate card. So Julian won through. Well done, Julian. And there's only one more thing left to do, isn't there? Let's go and claim these rewards. Let's see what I've got. Superstar WrestleMania. So I just, as a quick recap, there's Sasha who we've just got. There's Asuka. There's Alexa Bliss. I've got another one. Who is it? I can't remember. Well, let's have a look. Let's see what we get. And I've got Bray Wyatt. I think that's a pro. Is that a pro? Did we get that in a team event just recently? Or an event? I think it is a pro. Yeah, no, it's definitely a pro. I've just done nothing with the previous one because I haven't had a chance. Where are we? Where's Big Jim's card? Bring me my cards. Show me my cards. No, you're already on that bit. Let's get WrestleMania 33. so we can see there's obviously Mr. Blake lined up there. There's Asuka. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked by things here. There's Alexa. Ah, that was it. It was Nimini. Nimini. Oh, Ninja Boy had to collect his rewards before school because the reward window closed closed in about an hour's time. It was 11 o'clock this morning. And he got James Ellsworth, which he didn't have previously, so he wasn't too impressed with that. That was his single. And there we have it. A double Bray, so I've got some work to be doing. I need to get on with it, don't I? I need to get on with that. Right, well, that's good news. It's a right blue. It's a right blue, that is. Let's have a look at my King of the Ring lineup now then, because I've got... Yeah, there's a lot of right blue pros still. Oh well, okay, look, it's a pro. A pro is a pro is a pro is a pro is a pro. You can't turn your nose up at a pro. So happy days. Let's have a look at team event. Team event kicked off last night. I did. Oh look, here we go. Made a little bit of progress since I last looked. Sammy's in the bag, and I know that this Randy Orton card that is available is going to make a pro for at least 3 of Team BadLadDad. But I've already got him as a pro, so not so urgent for me. But again, you might as well just crack on. One, it helps your teammates. And 2, if you get another pro of Randy Orton, that's not a bad thing. It's a decent card. I would have thought though, with all these Team Battleground rewards now knocking around, that's 5-0. The streak is real. The streak is real for Team BadLadDad. I think I've changed their tagline to the TBG streak is real, 5-0. We must surely be edging towards a new tier, because we're all very soon, when I say we all, perhaps a bit of a grand statement, those players who've been playing the game for some time and who were in WrestleMania tier when it kicked off will have a fair, healthy selection of WrestleMania cards and WrestleMania pros. So it's going to make King of the Ring even more of a lottery, because everyone's going to have all the same best cards. But 2, if we're now all maxing out on this top level, they need to do something about that. They need to keep the game interesting, or they just cancel the game. Don't have any more SuperCard. How would you feel about that? No more WWE SuperCard. This is it. Final series. Not doing any more. How would your life be after that? What would you do with all those hours of finger tapping frenzy? How would you fill your hours? Why don't you actually tell me down below? What would you do if there was no WWE SuperCard? And don't say, oh, well, I'd play 2K17. Or something as boring as that. What could you do, or what could you have done with the time that you spent playing SuperCard? Oh, blooming thing's gone off while I'm talking. Right, I'm just going to have to see if I can quickly cut out. This just ruined me in mid-flow. Quite happily chatting to you. Right, what I'm trying to do now is not lose where I was up to. Oh, come on. Not lose where I was up to, and get this back on screen as quickly as I can, which does involve a bit of jiggery-pokery of my own. Right, there we go. It should all be appearing back in the right place very shortly. Ah, the perils of trying to record and play and talk and everything else and chew gum. What I will do, I've promised it, I will do it, is a video on how I record all of this. I have to say, it is easier when it's just me, because I don't have to worry about Ninja Boy running off for a start. 2, when you've got 2 machines that you're trying to capture the action from, that's obviously twice as much chance of it going wrong. And as you've seen in the past, you can see one of our screens will drop off, or someone else's flying through a particular job. So I will show you how that's done. Fairly simple setup, to be quite honest with you, once you know what to do. But I suppose a bit of familiarity when it gets the editing side, that is probably a bit more complicated with the way that I do things, because I always record our faces, all of this stuff, that stuff, separately to the desktop action, because I like to be able to go into it afterwards and edit things together. So then if you have something like we just had, where my action disappeared off screen and I had to call it back up and everything, I can just make this bit bigger, expand it out. There are some softwares where you can do everything on the same desktop and record it all at once, but that doesn't give you much leeway if things go wrong. Because another thing I have, there is a separate microphone, it's down here somewhere so you can't see it, which I use obviously for our soundtrack, but it can go wrong on occasion. So another reason I like having separate filming going on up here is that also records the soundtrack. So although it's not as clean and not as neat as the one off the main microphone, if something does go wrong with the main microphone, and it does from time to time, every YouTuber has this kind of fun experience, it's like I've got a backup, because there's the backup from there. So it's very useful. I find this, the way that I record things, is very useful in terms of simple to set up, but also it covers your back if certain things go wrong. So I was going to say very rarely, I don't think we've ever had an occasion where I've not been able to put a video up because of a bad soundtrack, because I've always had a soundtrack available. Right, that was pretty boring, wasn't it? Let's get back to SuperCard gameplay. Just stop talking about filming. You're not interested in that. Not interested in that. I want to see what cards you get. Because this is Team Road to Glory, we had to be careful with our setup here. We would normally chuck loads of crappy cards in. I can say that, can't I? Crappy, that's all right, that's allowed. Loads of crappy cards in at the front end of the tournament, but of course that does lower your team status, and you have to be careful with that, because if you're powering through Team Battleground matches and you're chaining them, you don't want to set something off when you've accidentally dropped yourselves down to Ultimate tier or something like that, because then you're going to mess around with your potential rewards, and that you do not want. Do not want to happen. Right, I'm coming to the end of this, as we're going to get a third WrestleMania card right here. Oh, just a title match. I knew that. And call it a day, because it is still fairly early on a Tuesday here in London, and I've got work to do and other things to do and several things to do before that Ninja Boy gets back from school. Or in fact, before I have to go and fetch that Ninja Boy from school. One of my other very important jobs of the day. Right, thanks ever so much for watching. You know the drill, people. Please like as many times as you can be bothered down below. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed before. We're on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. Twitter's a good way of keeping up with the chat and what we're up to, etc. And until I see you next time, you stay cool.